All right. So, Stephen, you just got done working with me one-on-one through my last coaching cycle. And I want to unpack your experience with that. And more importantly, the way in which you look at accountability now versus before. So, high level, let's just talk about your overall kind of takeaways from working one-on-one with me. And what were some of the big aha moments for you?
Yeah. Well, it opened my eyes to how much different my daily behaviors are going to be having that level of accountability from someone that I care about their opinion. I think that's so important. Is something I've learned too, is that it's hard. An accountability partner, and we talked about this in early when we got started with coaching. It's great to have that person you don't want to disappoint, that it's a peer. It's way different when it's a coach, and then, like you said, that is not going to care about my feelings, is just going to tell me how it is. And so that was really valuable to me, and part of why I was scared out of my mind before I got started with it, because I knew I wasn't going to be able to use any of my excuses. And so tons of value out of that. In fact, it's got me thinking about getting coaching in other areas of my life where I've been able to succeed to a degree, like my physical fitness. But I realized that what could I get out of it if I had a coach that wouldn't let me get away with all the different ways I let myself get away with it, and my lack of self-discipline.
Amazing. And that is exactly what I want to unpack today. So the way I put it is, there's a difference between education and training and coaching. And the difference is so training to me is the transference of information, right? I tell you what to do. I show you how to do it. Coaching is being held accountable to actually doing it. And that's the thing that actually makes an impact, because I think people have it all wrong. They think it's the dog and pony show. They think, well, I just need more information, and that's why I'm not succeeding. No, the reason you're not succeeding is because you're not doing anything with the information, and no one's holding you accountable to actually doing it. Speak to that.
Yeah. I mean, that is exactly it. That is exactly it, because it's crazy the difference in what you'll get done in a day, and how easy it is to let the hours slip away when you can get distracted by this and this and that. And having accountability and having actions that need to be done, it focuses your mind and gets you actually into action. To your point, that's what moves the needle. It's not more information, it's acting on the information you have.
I love it. I love it. And so what is the relationship in your own mind around the way in which you think about accountability now versus the way you used to think about it in the past, maybe?
I think the illusion, and what this is something I still deal with internally, the illusion is that I should. Tony Robbins says we should all over ourselves. I should have the self-discipline to just do this myself. And so, because we have that ego of not wanting somebody else to be telling us, or not wanting some truth of human behavior, is that even people who succeed at the highest level need coaches and need that accountability.
And it's because they're human. And I think, to add on, you are under the same belief of me, is it doesn't matter who you are, you need accountability, because without it, we are just going to take the path of least resistance, no matter who we are. And you are exactly right. We should have self-discipline and self-accountability, but we don't. Because otherwise, if we did, we'd all be rich, fit, and happy. But that's not the case. And people are not understanding the value of, I think, having a coach. And I like what you said, is having a coach in other areas of your life. I have 3 coaches at all times in 3 different areas of my life that are the most important to me. Why? Because without that, I know I won't do what is necessary to get what I want on my own. Period. End of story. You agree?
Yeah, I agree. I think we all have a base level of discipline where we can get ourselves, we develop certain habits.
I don't know, man. You're giving people a lot of credit. I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, different levels.
Yeah,
right?
I'm just kidding.
But
yeah.
I think what I'm trying to say is a coach is going to help you get past your current level of ability and your current level of self-discipline. Otherwise, you just always default to what you're currently able to do. You won't get yourself out of your comfort zone.
Well, and yeah, to your point, I love the people, and we're not necessarily talking about real estate coaching. I'm talking about just coaching in general. I love the people that say, well, I don't need coaching. Well, if you don't need coaching, why aren't you fit? And why aren't you at the level you want to be? I'm not judging, but here's what I hear. I want this. I don't have that. Well, what's the disconnect? Oh, that's right. Accountability. So when they say, I don't need coaching, I think they don't understand what coaching is and what coaching isn't. And so you and your production, right? I just want to talk about this because this is the brass tacks. This is the rubber meets the road. We can sit here and talk about all this stuff, high level foo-foo, theory. What did it do for your business when you were held accountable to this level?
It did a lot of things. Everyone that was in the coaching cycle that I was in with you said the same thing, that when you're accountable to a coach, you what you do with us is you make us track our numbers, and then you start to see the value of that, if nothing else. And I can talk on that later.
Sure.
But what it did for me, we were together doing that one-on-one coaching for 8 weeks. During that time, I took 6 listings and a new buyer that I put under contract during that time. So 7 total contracts. I made over $50,000 in commission. And as of June 15th, the middle market of the year, I have made $3,000 more this year than I made in the entirety of last year.
Wow. Unbelievable. Yeah. You cut out a little bit of, I think we caught that, but yeah, in 8 weeks time, that's okay. In 8 weeks time. Yeah. You took 7 contracts, made 50 something $1,000. And right now, halfway through the year, you've made more than you made all of 2021. Was that right?
Correct.
Did I get that right? Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And yeah, that's a great place to just, I guess, end our conversation is your newfound understanding and value on tracking numbers. Can you speak to that for a second?
Yeah. So one of the things I love is you gave me access to a great sales tracker, and I love, as I'm putting in the numbers, sometimes jumping into the year to date data. Am I starting to break up again?
Yeah, that's all right. I mean, we can make out your audio, your video. Do you guys have internet in that? Yeah. Do you guys have internet in Nashville?
Yeah. I want my office Wi-Fi. I don't know what's happening.
Oh, it's funny.
So, my favorite thing is to look at that. And, one piece of data that I love is every time I generate a new lead, I know I just made over $600.
Amazing.
And having clarity on data like that is like, even if, you're prospecting, you never know where things are going to come from. You talk about the law of the harvest. It takes a long time to get to harvest your work. But I know on a given day when it's like, shoot, I didn't set any appointments, but hey, I generated 2 leads. I made $1,200 today. Yeah,
that's such a great outlook, because the way you used to look at that was you felt like you were always like on a hamster wheel. Without having the data, it was hard to tie your emotions to the daily activities and ask yourself, am I making progress? And you learn through tracking your numbers that was actually proof that you're making progress. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah. And it gives me clarity on things. Like, I have a great contact to appointment set ratio.
Yes, you do. What is yours for context?
I'll pull it up right now.
Yeah. Can you share your screen with us so we can just look at it? Do you mind?
Yeah.
Cool. That'll be even more tactical. There you go.
Okay.
Hold on. It should be coming. There you go. Oh, beautiful. All right. This is great. Okay, good.
Yeah. So I've been tracking this for a little over 2 months, and my contact appointment set is just a little bit over 10.
Unbelievable. That's a whole podcast by itself. I cannot, if I don't say anything right now, the audience will just absolutely crush me in the comments. So I have to ask you, how is it? Because this is a testament to the skills that you now have. Just give us one good tip on what you're doing on these conversations over the telephone that allow you to set appointments for every 10 humans you talk to. Amazing.
Thank you very much. It's what attracted me to you, because every script I was running before was so much about pressure. And reverse selling is about removing the pressure. It's not about, I don't try to sell anything over the phone other than the value of an appointment. And I reduce the risk for them in their mind as much as possible. Just would like to come by. I'll give you some feedback on the home while I'm there. If you're open to it, I can share what it would look like for us to work together in the future. And from there, you can decide if it makes sense. That sound fair? Really
Beautiful. Real simple, real basic. And it's hard not to take you up on that offer because there is no perceived threat. So yeah, this is great that you're tracking your numbers. And to your point, you could see everything, like every contact you have, you're making $122. So it doesn't matter if they say yes or they say no. Stephen Vey makes $122 every person he talks to.
Right. It's crazy. Now, one thing that's highlighted for me too is, I do have a great contact to appointment set ratio, but my set to met needs some work. It's below average.
Sure.
Because so I'm, it gives me that clarity. Like, am I setting appointments that I haven't qualified enough over the phone?
That's right. And because you have the data, you now know what you have to work on, and you don't have to operate solely off emotion. You have the data to back up. Okay, here's where I need to spend a little bit more time increasing my prospecting skills. So yeah, you can stop the screen share. So dude, thank you. That's really it. I want to keep this nice and short and super impactful for people so that it can help people change the relationship they have with themselves, right? And how we view accountability for the value of ourselves. So any last learnings that maybe you've taken away going through this intense experience with me?
Yeah, well, I told Nina, my accountability partner, at the end of that coaching cycle, that I was actually scared that it was ending. My actions wouldn't be as focused. And I just took a FSBO listing last night, but it's the first listing I've taken since the end of our cycle. And so, I hit a bit of slump, and a lot of that is because my activities had really dropped. And so it just more reminder that accountability makes a huge difference.
I love it. Well, appreciate your time today. You're just such a gem in our community. I really mean that. I constantly get great feedback from people in the community, how much you inspire others. And so that's the other thing. Not only are you helping yourself, Stephen, with the work you're doing, you're helping to inspire agents that are walking behind you. You're blazing that trail for other people to say, you can do this. You can do this. I did this. I was right in your spot. I thought I couldn't do it, and here I am doing it. And so thank you for that. And I mean that.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's an honor to be part of this community.
For sure. All right, brother. I'll talk to you soon. Get back to your day. Let's go make it happen, and we'll talk to you soon. All right?
We'll get on the phone. See ya.
See ya.